Hello, YouTube. I think we're live. YouTube, hello. YouTube will go live. I trust. Alright, so welcome, everyone. We got a show match going on, and they're in a lobby about to get started. So what colors are we going to use today? I think I shall match the flags. Hera will be red, Sebastian will be blue, unless they pick different colors. And I'm still working on the overlay for Warlords. I need to get all the map authors and everything like I've been doing. Space bar is always left. I think it actually comes from the fact that my right hand is often on the mouse, and if you're trying to type on the keyboard, like with the other hand on the mouse, it's your left thumb that's going to hit space. Or also, obviously from AoE 2, I use the keyboard with my left hand, and I'm hitting space all the time with my left thumb for go-to selected object. Let me add my YouTube chat back. OBS, and grab the video link. So we'll be live on YouTube too. Hello, YouTube chat. No one said anything in the YouTube chat yet, but hello regardless. We got 9 viewers there. Welcome. So it'll be Sebastian versus Hera. 7 maps, and I'm hoping that the maps do not break. That would be lovely if they don't break. Also hosted by Mem, so go check out Mem. Just give a shout out to him right now, and we'll do another one of those throughout the day. So go give Mem a follow if you're not already. And we're gonna check out what I need to fix in the maps. That's what I'm streaming today. What I need to fix in the maps. Let's see. I was gonna post something somewhere. I was gonna post this Discord link to my YouTube stream. So welcome in, everyone. Everywhere, Twitch, YouTube. And I see the players are in the lobby, and I think we're about to get started. The maps today, we don't have a draft for the maps because they are set maps. Where's our list of maps? Showmatch, yes. It'll be Crownwood, Kilimanjaro, Arena, Seasons, Shorelines, Mirkwood, and Skakuza. With some Arena. Some Arena. Samurai, unique unit animation. That samurai without the concept of object permanence always has to keep checking on his sword. And Crownwood, they have it selected. And as they're about to get started, I'm just going to get an ad out of the way, and then I'm going to go grab my coffee, so I'll be right back, and then we'll launch. Alright. Maps were set beforehand. Yes, the maps were set beforehand. And let's go. I think I clicked all the buttons I need to click. So, alright, let me overlay time. As I said, Hera will be red, Sebastian will be blue. I gotta swap them. What are their civs? It is Mapuche versus Vietnamese. There we go. So the map is Crownwood, using the same version that was used for Red Bull, but from a 9-villager start. This tournament will have a 9-villager start. Also, wait, can I turn my webcam on? Yeah. I won't have an outline around the webcam because I need to edit that back into the image because I removed it for the Onamaru channel. I have a lot of overlay stuff to do. Always little bookkeeping things you gotta do as a streamer that you always need time to do. So this will be about as standard a start as you can get. Standard gold and stone resources, berries by the TC, and some walls up through the scraggly wood lines for Sebastian. I'll keep Sebastian as blue and Hera as red so they match the flag colors. We have a play all 7 today, where I get to figure out if I need to fix things on the map. We'll have a settlement here between the wood and the berries. How do the Mapuche do against the Vietnamese? At any point of the game, Bolas Riders versus Cav Archers? I don't think I've ever seen the Kona, although I have heard they are strong. And there we go, Feudal Age for both players, just about the same time. 3 seconds of idle time for Sebastian. And there we go, archery range for Hera. He went Kona in the Red Bull final, did he? I probably was not paying attention to the Red Bull final, even though I was in the audience. He went Bolas Riders, though, didn't he? That was against the Franks. Pretty sure he went Bolas Riders. Bolas Riders are the ball thrower guys. And yes, that is a very accurate description of what they do. They throw balls. Oh, we have a pause. Is the map bugged? Do I need to go fix things? Oh, Hera's just having extreme lag. That is not my fault. Yes. That is not my fault. Extreme lag. Balls on a rope. He's just lagging out because he fears the balls that are going to be thrown at him. So Champy for Sebastian. We didn't really see Champy's scouts used all that much in the Brazil games, but then again, those maps were kind of insane. The starts were very weird, and we saw Celts win a game through a transport ship sheep steal. I feel bad for the gal, but that was also one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen, that Celts bonus finally being useful. Oh, as a bear. Hello, bear. Just chilling in the back. That's gonna eat someone's Wallingville. And honestly, FC Bolas Riders, we did see Running pull that off. It'd be rather cool to see a quick Bolas Rider play, even though they do fit the Shinbei Raider role of unique Cav Archer that is OP because it's stronger than a Cav Archer. So Skirm opening from Sebastian. He doesn't need a barracks for them. He simply makes them from the settlements. And Vinch pulled off a very nice defense using Skirms against Nikov. Around the back, Hera not walled. He's going to go for a full wall off, but we'll need to wall from here to the edge of the map. And he's got some horse collar on the way. Oh, also earlier, West Side Pancake. Thank you for the follow. Either you're a fan of pancakes, or maybe you're just some type of pancake store doing marketing as a breakfast restaurant. And in all honesty, if you serve pancakes for breakfast, feel free to try to market. That's what you gotta do for your brand. You gotta just make a Twitch account, and then follow other people so they read the account name out. Also, I'm realizing that this map uses the grass flowers textures. I had used them in a lot of maps too, because it's so beautiful, and I need to make sure I'm not overusing it now. It is such a wonderful addition to the menagerie of terrains. So skirms there, hit the scout. Scout has to dodge a bit. As the scout will run back, and the brown bear will chase the skirm. Brown bear chasing the skirm. Scout gonna attack the brown bear. And the brown bear does go down. Yeah, wallable, lots of res. This map can go long. This map certainly can go long. So Vil going over for a house. And fletching for Sebastian. Weakville garrisons. And ooh, Vil pick from a Hera Sebastian. Sent the Vil to life on a farm, but needed to be a back farm, not a forward one. And now it's a good old skirm war. Good old skirm war. I think we get several percentages over 100 for the skirms here. Yeah, look at it go, look at it go. How far does that extend? 125? Oh, 130, 140? Oh my gosh, how much percentage do we get from the skirmisher? Because they create slower from the settlements than from the range. 200% skirm. That's 215% skirm we get. Oh, that's amazing. 215% skirm. And I think that's a skirm advantage. Let's see, 14 to 15 for Sebastian with 3 settlement production. Down here, Hera still didn't finish his wall off, but feels like maybe he doesn't need to with how far forward he is with his aggression. Map has 7 relics on it. So this map pool, maps have between 7 and 9 relics. There might be a bit of randomness in the relic number, but it should be always at least 7. And Lily, hello Lily, how are you doing? Hope you're having a lovely day. Hope you're having an absolutely lovely day. Let me adjust my mic position so I can sit up properly in my chair. I'm having a great day where I woke up, fixed a couple of map scripts, had a call, meeting about map scripts, fixed a couple more map scripts, and now I'm watching a game played on the map scripts, and then later tonight I'll be fixing more maps. Because when I interviewed Sebastian, he was talking about how it's exhausting for him to have such a tight schedule of TTL, Red Bull, Brazil qualifier, and now Warlords. It's exhausting for me for doing the map scripts for most of those events and now casting all of them. It's good night for you. It's afternoon for me. Time isn't really a concept I understand anymore. Not that I ever have. So, Castle Age for both players. Bear chasing the skirm. Let's go Bear. Or Lou from Chicago, or from Illinois, near Chicago, usually says let's go Bears. Even though he's a wolf. Maybe he should really be cheering for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And their scout goes down, so no more scouts. Just skirms. Vietnamese more HP on their skirms. Mapuche simple settlement skirm training. Is this what we're gonna get now that we have standard maps? Skirms, 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 and more skirms. This is peak right here. This is peak. Don't worry, I also have a clowny version of Arena added in. Let's see. Message for a rainbow. Just double checking things for maps. Let's just see, yeah. So when we look at the woods right here on the maps, one of the neutral woods just spawned a bit closer to Hera. So each player has 3 hills with woods, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, but there's a neutral one that spawned a bit closer to Hera. So we're just talking about what would be admin decisions. And it's kind of an interesting thing, because for the most part, throughout the history of AoE 2, players had restarts they could call if they thought their map was too bad. And they'd have a certain number per set. But these days, we kind of rely on maps being good enough that that doesn't happen. But sometimes, a couple things have popped up recently where players have really good maps. Maybe, like, all resources can be defended by one tower. And situations or here where Hera, one of the neutral woods, spawns a bit closer to him. We've never done admin rees because maps are too good before. But that has been a situation that's popped up a bit recently, I've noticed, in a couple of maps. The map isn't unfair because it's bad for one player, but because it's extra good for one player. So something I don't think we ever really handle on an admin level, but it's something for me to keep an eye on as I do map scripting. It's on top of hills. You sure this is in Canada? Maybe it's just a home map advantage for Hera. Gotta go to the far west of the Vinland Saga scenario. Get a home map for Hera. And hello, Chinozia? Welcome to the chat. How much stone can you mine from the large rocks? Nothing. They are simply there as scenery. There is scenery. Draccio. Joe Draccio. Oh, you have a wonderful Q without a U name. That is lovely. So, 1, 2, 3 TCs for Hera. 1, 2, 3 for Sebastian. Vilcount's pretty similar. Workshop for Hera. Vietnamese late game. How good is Vietnamese late game? Probably very good. Sebastian not trying to push. Yeah, I'm sure Rainbow will have lots of messages back and forth with me where we discuss maps during especially the qualifier, the opening round. So we have 21 maps in the map pool, all made from a wide variety of different authors. And I've been editing them to fix a bunch of little tiny issues with them that kind of all add up. And now that players for the past couple days have really started looking at the map pack, I've been getting lots and lots of bug reports about more issues, which is great, because there are things I see, there are things that players see when you start playing the map. And we'll try to get them in the best shape as possible. You chose the username myself. I feel that as much as you choosing your name yourself is great, it also, like, there's a lot of pressure for doing it well. If your parents choose your name for you at birth, it's just like, okay. If they got it wrong, it's not my fault. But if you go choose it yourself, then you have to make sure that it's right. If you're a bit of a perfectionist, I think that could be very stressful. Sometimes the name chooses you. If you aren't careful, you could name yourself after a soccer cleat. Well, I had the problem the other day that T90 tried to raid T-West, but he didn't raid T-West AoE, and he sent thousands of viewers to some offline channel with 8 followers who's never streamed. Maybe one day, I'll be big enough on Twitch that I can convince Twitch just to give me that username. But years ago, I was, T90 and I had gone, we were in an airport waiting for some other people to join us when their flights arrived. And he told me how early on he had tried to get some, like, T90 XVI or T90 official email account, but it was already taken, so he emailed the guy asking if he could have it, and the guy said no. And now, I just can't imagine how many Forced Nothing recorded games that guy's email must be filled with. Just people saying, T90 cast mod 900 ELO Forced Nothing game. And it's some random guy still squatting on that email address. So amongst healing the skirms, we'll have Imp for Hera. This has just been a good old boom and skirm game. I really like Crownwood as a map concept. I don't know what we need to do. Maybe move the TCs a bit closer, as it feels like it's wall and boom all the time. You don't have a middle name. I do have a middle name. Yeah, my parents gave me the Steven as a middle name, which is the same as my father's middle name. But the problem is, my father his entire life misspelled his middle name. He spelled it with a V, when really it was supposed to be spelled with a PH. And it wasn't until my parents went to name me that they officially looked up the spelling and realized that it had a PH in it. And then, after he passed away, I was looking through all of his old military documentation, and there it was indeed misspelled. Everywhere. But not to have his name spelled correctly on any single document. So skirms kill the villager. Imp skirm and bracer. Both on the way. And that mangonel goes down, the other mangonel goes down. Defensive castle for Hera. He's taking a slight score lead, slight eco lead. And now he's gonna get Imp Skirm. So Skirm versus Skirm, it's Imp Skirm time. Now we're going to see the Kona. They only have 3 Pierce armor, and they can't get Cav armor, right? They're just weak to Pierce units, which includes Imp Skirms. It's not spelled correctly anywhere. Is that then the correct spelling? The correct spelling is the one that is on the birth certificate. And the correct spelling is also the fact he's named after his father. And it needs to be, or his middle name was named after his father. And it needs to follow that spelling. So I think that's 2 pretty compelling pieces of evidence that it was misspelled. Oh, okay. Skirm's diving under the mangonel. Sebastian loses the mangonel. And just a good old skirm war over here. We'll have Malon. I don't even know what that does. Bolus riders, slingers, and skirmishers deal pass-through damage. So the ball throwers become scorpions. It's like you throw your fastball so fast that the catcher can't catch it and it goes through him and hits the umpire behind him. Man, the Mets could use one of those Bolus riders. Or more like 13 of them. Anyway, scorpions all along. So, what the heck was that fight? What was that? The Imp Skirms just got wrecked. Are these things actually the best Skirms in the game with that tech? They don't have bracers, so their range will be short, but they just wrecked Imp Skirms. Wait a minute. The Scorpion Skirmishers. Yes, they are. Oh my gosh. They're like chakram throwers, but skirms. Let's just check the HPs here. Oh yeah, look at all of them getting damaged at once. Hera really has to micro this. Oh my gosh. Here comes some Konas that are gonna get picked off. They seem horribly weak to the Imp Skirms. I think Hera still wins this because Vietnamese are great. And I don't think the Kona are gonna do anything here. Maybe, and Sebastian, maybe he just needs archery ranges for his skirms. He can make archery ranges, right? Like, he's not locked from that. Yeah, he can make slingers. Just needs more skirms. Wins via light cap from here. Also Hera didn't have armor early on. Well, Sebastian has no armor. Elite Kona, well, that have more pierce armor. It better have more pierce armor. And I think Sebastian can't figure this out. But in this Civ matchup, just seems like boom and win with Vietnamese is the play for Hera. So let's try to look at the pierce armor. I'm still learning the new units. How many months have they been out? Like 2 months now? There you go. Okay, 5 pierce armor. That's less bad, but still not great. That's cataphract level of pierce armor, where they get 1+4. So this is just a straight up 5. And they will try to fight the imp skirms, but under castle fire, they're gonna die. Yeah, Kona seems like a bad unit. Maybe they should just get rid of the Kona, take the Bolus Rider, and make that their unique unit. And then get rid of the slowing down gimmick, and it'd probably be a good unit. So Kona picking off Tribs. Skirms dodging the cannon shots. Kills the CA play. That would kind of be the point. And now Hera has reached the peak Vietnamese power spike. Nice Imperial Age roofing here. You can tell it's a bit more robust than the Castle Age roofing. Some more intricate patterns. Oh, Nick Stirs, thank you for the raid. Welcome everyone. Here we're casting a show match for Warlords. Welcome, welcome. And we have Hera being Hera. He's got a castle here. Oh, and Gigify and emote. 30 bits, thank you. We have Hera being Hera. He's pushing with the Vietnamese. He's got Bombard Cannon. And the Mapuche, I think, are simply dead here. I think they are very simply dead. I don't think there's much that Sebastian can do. He lost his 4 relics. This map does not seem like a super aggressive push your enemy early on map. This feels like super late game Vietnamese Magyars Byzantines type of gameplay. And Teutonic Apophis, thank you for the follow. Yeah, it was one of the Red Bull maps. I look at it and I think maybe we need to move the players a bit closer together. Just a tiny bit closer. As we have skirms, and rat and archers here. Trying to deal with the elite Kona. Sebastian doing what he can. I mean, he took out 1 castle. At least he does have Trebs. He'll dome some of those elite rat and archers with the Trebs. Look at that Treb shot go. Boom. Oh, misses, I think. Almost got the cannon. There's a castle down. Cannon push in. And we'll have a late game douche on the right. Let's go douche. Tooltip says Kona is strong versus infantry. Kona has 0 melee armor. There are no more Kona left for me to check the stats. Well, Sebastian with Outpost, at least we'll see Hera's doing a TC there. Hera with a forward monastery for relics. Sebastian trying to hold. Maybe he's hoping his skirms with the unique tech will win against the Vietnamese somehow, against the imp skirms. He can hold and make this a 2-hour game. Oh, also, there's no time limit here. There's no time limit. Honestly, I kind of liked the 90-minute time limit we had. We never actually hit it, but it did mean players started resigning when they were behind. And we got like an hour into the game and didn't hold on. Champion? I think Champion would probably die to the Rattan archers. I don't completely know. Let's see, well, Vietnamese do have Fire Lancers still. I don't know how those do against Champy. Probably the Champy would win. Then no hand cannon here for the Vietnamese. But Rattan Archer, potentially Heavy Cav Archer should be good against the Champy. And time to end it with Vietnamese champions that take 1 damage from the skirms. Yeah, without bracers, they'll have less attack. Oh, I think their pass-through damage actually is best against enemy skirms, because then the full archer bonus that they have, +4 versus archers, will apply through the pass-through damage instead of being canceled out. So hoardings now. Hoardings for Hera's. He's dropping a castle on Sebastian's face, and I mean, Sebastian, he is on wonders, which means he's teammates with Nikov, and he's teammates with ACCM. And I think ACCM might be teaching his teammates how to hold on to games like that, but 13k to 9k score by the end. Finally, we get a GG, and there's Hera taking game number 1. This is a play all 7, so 7 games for us to cast today. And that's 300 to 174 KD for Hera. Pretty much the same eco there, so the Mapuche still have a good eco. But that's a pretty simple game. Boom and skirm from the Vietnamese. That's what Vietnamese do. And where is the draft? Vietnamese over Mapuche. There's nothing better than a skirm war. Oh my gosh, my YouTube chat was an update. Alright, let's just... remove the troll from YouTube. Why is OBS not showing me my YouTube chat? Now it is. Hello, YouTube. I'm sorry I wasn't reading you. My chat in OBS wasn't updating. Now I will read you. And I'll also be able to moderate it. And let's check out the Showmatch game number 2. So Sebastian should be able to pick whatever map he wants. Or actually, no, never mind. He's not picking whatever map he wants. We have an order for the maps. We have an order for the maps. Game number 2 will be on Kilimanjaro. This, you may have seen Kilimanjaro in the past. It has been redesigned, completely redesigned in DE, and we use the new version for this. So completely redesigned version of Kilimanjaro. And this is the first time I've actually seen it played. Mapuche Imp Skirms is best synergy, I guess. Spirit of the Law is some field work. I don't know. It's probably very unit specific. It's like the chakram throwers that do pass-through damage, but armor stopping the damage is really strong. So there are huge swings between it demolishes everything and it's useless. I think there's a really good clip we have of trebuchets that are lined up, and chakram throwers demolishing the trebs. So, Kilimanjaro. Again, if I need to make balance changes to maps afterwards, I make the balance changes. We'll have a good watch through of these games and see. Again, looks like T90's around and Sebastian, everyone's streaming. Oh my gosh, I don't know if anyone else here who's a streamer in the chat who uses Twitch. You know how on Twitch on the left side it has the list of all of your followers? As the list of all of your followers, or all the, not your followers, the channels that you follow. So if you want to go watch a stream, you click the link and you go watch the stream, right? That's how That's how links work on the internet. The problem is, if you are a streamer, that list of channels you follow now has added to it a button to knock to try to do a co-op stream. It's like I was doing with a multi-stream on the Onamaru channel, where we combined the chats, and I've done this a couple of times where I simply want to open someone's stream just to have it open so I can like check their progress on games or whatnot while I'm streaming, and I accidentally click the knock button because it is right there on the overlay, and it's something it only appears on hover. It doesn't appear until you hover over it. So I go and I click the link thinking I'm going to open their stream, and I accidentally attempt to combine the streams. Oh, it's so awkward. It's like, no, I'm sorry, I don't actually want to collab with you. I just want to open your stream. Yeah, it seems like it's time to ad block some elements. And then there's the awkwardness of either you accidentally do it to a large streamer who probably has that happen to them all the time. They have random people like, who's this random person trying to collaborate with me? Or I accidentally do it to a smaller streamer, and they're like, oh boy, T-West wants to collab with me? And it's an accident, I'm sorry. I don't want to get your hopes up. It's a misclick. Anyway, I think we actually have the game started here. Let's go. Tatars versus Maya. And let's see if we can get this loaded in. And here we go. So we will have Sebastian as the blue Maya to the northeast, Hera as the red Tatars to the southeast. This is one of our semi-open maps. This map now has a flag atop the top of Kilimanjaro. Does anyone know if this flag is supposed to represent something? It is a flag that very clearly has some Asian characters on it, if I can tell. That does not look like... Certainly not a Latin language. So I don't know if that's actually the, like, if there's a reason it's on top of the mountain. But this is the new version of Kilimanjaro. There are lots of stones spread around the base of the mountain, 2 golds at the top of the mountain, and then little shorefish ponds that are far from the players. I never actually zoomed in on the flag. I was just like, oh, there's a flag there. And I zoomed in on it now. What's with that puny little mound? This is a huge hill. They increased the elevation on it, definitely. The character is Way. Oh, the character says Way. Okay. So they just, this is their marketing, their DLC. This is like if you drive down the highway and you see billboards trying to sell you something. This is what Microsoft's doing, but with some in-game marketing to try to sell you the Three Kingdoms DLC. How much? There's very little gold on the map. Yeah, Rorarimbo and I took a look at this. In the past, there were lots of neutral golds scattered around the side. I hope I didn't, like, mess up and delete them accidentally somehow, but it's not much gold. Only 28 total tiles. So players will have 11 tiles themselves, and then 6 more at the top. Didn't I place it there? I did not place it there. We reused a map that came from DE. I edited the map scripts, but I didn't rewrite 21 map scripts in the 1 or 2 weeks I've been working here on these maps. So that is just there. So that I didn't write any of the maps in the pool from scratch. These are all existing maps from a variety of authors. And this is the new and refreshed map script that's in DE right now. This map was first added in the African Kingdoms. But recently they've been doing an overhaul to a lot of the maps. If you saw the ES custom maps, like Pilgrims has been in the map pool a couple of times, that one got an update. This is very different than the version we had used in TTL recently. I think we'd used this in TTL 4. That version had ponds where every player had 2 shorefish. But this is the version from DE. You saw a slightly dystopian ad on the metro. They have LED space in the tunnel so that they combine into an animated ad as the carriage drives along. When I was in London for Red Bull and we were taking the subway trains, they had this escalator with animated digital LED screens on both sides of the escalator, but the screens were tilted. So the ads themselves were tilted, and it made me motion sick as I was going up the escalator. I had to hold on to the railing, and I thought I was going to fall off. That was one of the most random and nauseating experiences I've had. There is fletching for Sebastian. So, archery range, skirms. Are we going to see skirms again? Now we're going to see archers. Sebastian making a unit other than skirms. He's making archers. Add straight to your brain. Oh, no. Eagle Scout against the Scout Cav. Eagle. Massacred by the Scout. I love how close the birds fly to the land. I think that's always cute. Archers get some HP off the Scout. Kill the Scout! Hera not dodging at the last moment. And double ranges there for Sebastian. Double ranges. As he's going to work on finishing his wall. I'll start working on drinking my second coffee of the day. There's a goose out there. Lovely goose. Oh, also something I forgot to mention. All of the animals we have, the rhinos and boars and whatnot, throughout Warlords, they're going to have 340 food on them. So they're not going to have the extra 400 food. And the javelinas aren't going to have 300. It's all going to be 340. So that way we can reskin them. And we're not going to have the random changes that have been kind of backwards compatibility breaking. The rhinos and elephants have always had 400, but the javelinas recently were reskinned, given new graphics, which is nice, but they were given less food. And a lot of the older maps, stuff like Border Dispute, that randomly had javelinas on it for different themes, now they have only 300 food on them. So out of nowhere, a lot of maps and build orders would have changed because of the lack of food. That was something that happened to us in TTL. We had javelinas on Monocle, and suddenly it went from 340 to 300 food, which is just a little bit less. And it's enough to mess up a build order. Adaptation is part of the game, but tournaments need that predictability at the top level so the players can plot and plan. Well, that and also, if an update randomly changes something mid-tournament, that's not something players should have to plan for. It's one thing if there's randomness inherent in the map script. And we've defined what that is, so players can figure out what it is and adapt to it. It's another thing if something just changes. And so we have a lot of maps, and as much as I've made dozens of changes to them already, I'm sure that there is plenty more to go for me in the next couple days before the qualifier actually starts. As I was saying earlier, this is really players, since we've had back-to-back tournaments, the past few days are, I can tell the first time players have actually been looking at the maps. And I can tell because I've now started getting all the DMs about bug reports and players posting images and broken maps and whatnot. So we're finally into good old debugging season. Feels weird. I mean, both of these players, I always see them as blue. And red will match the Canadian flag of Hera. So Castle Age for Hera now. He will be up first, and he will be, for the most part, walled, but he has overchopped, and Sebastian could get in through the overchop. This is a situation where you want to lead with the archers, so that you can hit the vills immediately, and Hera notices in time. Who among the pros sends bug reports? ACCM, Deduzu, Stone Please has been pretty active. Nagao and Jordan have sent a few. Or at least for their Brazil Cup they did. Of course, everyone always sends a bug report after they lose a game and they feel the map is unfair. But in the preparation stages, you get a feeling for which players tend to do a lot of preparation. And here we have the archers breaking through, so that's it. Sebastian just kind of ran through. He saw the double-layered farms and was just like, let's YOLO it. Force Hera to delete the farms, and now Hera has to fall back and deal with this mayhem in his base. Sebastian, moving super far ahead in res collected, has an escape route out here. And that's the risk of the double-layer farms. You can't quick wall. If there's a single-layer farm, you can essentially do the old slam gate technique, but with rotatable gates. Now the archers will be picked off, but I think they've done the damage they needed. And, well, good start to the game for Sebastian. 38 to 30 Vil difference we'll have. That'll be even up by 1 as another few seconds tick off the clock while Sebastian's up to the next stage. And he'll go triple range crossbows as the Maya. Let's go. Triple range crossbows. The wooden panel office, yes. The old wood paneling. Everyone seems to really like that in the chat. The wood paneling. Is this a tournament? This is a show match for Warlords. Mem is hosting Warlords again, starting this weekend with the qualifier. And so this is just a show match, both to promote it and to help test the maps. And my first impression is we need more neutral golds on Kilimanjaro. But we'll have a discussion and look at this. This match is Skirm Simulator. I mean, that's what AoE 2 is these days, Skirm Simulator. I'm actually very surprised we saw very little Skirm Simulator for the Brazil matches. But that's also just due to some of the crazy resource distributions on the maps. How to rotate a gate? There are hotkeys for it. I think the default is control mouse wheel. Other than that, it follows the orientation of the nearby walls. In the old days, you needed to place 2 palisade foundations and then place the gate atop them to control the orientation. So here's Hera trying to break through and do some counter damage. Sebastian not abandoning the farms, just trying to fight crossbow versus skirm. And he's waiting for elite skirm. Maybe he'll be punished a bit from not having that upgrade ahead of time, and Hera, taking the top of the mountain, will push with a mangonel. Why don't we see more Byzantine wars these days? Probably they still want to save Byzantines for the water maps. We saw Nikov use them for the Fire Galley Hulk combo. It's the type of thing that I feel Byzantines are really good on a wide variety of maps, but maybe not the absolute top civ, even though they're still competitive with every civ. And they also have the problem that Fire Lancers kind of wreck their preferred skirm camel composition in the Castle Age. And it's very expensive to get to the cataphracts they need to fight that properly. So I think some of the new civs that were added also, not that they necessarily counter Byzantines, but have a strong option during a period where Byzantines used to be very strong, and are still very strong against other civ combinations. So I think it's a bit trickier to play them now. Nice mangonel shot against the Eagles there from Hera. And after all that damage Sebastian did, he still has a 4 Vil lead. But now has to figure out how to stop this when Hera has the hill in the middle. Yeah, they had the most complete tech tree. Yeah. Funny how nowadays you can realize most complete still can have glaring holes in it. So bloodlines for Hera. Just need to add more skirms. Town Watch padded archer armor. Yeah, and you can also change that in your hotkeys. Personally, I swap that with the zoom, so zooming in and out is control mouse wheel, and rotating the gate is the normal mouse wheel. So split on the skirms, Sebastian trying to take the hill. This map can swing widely based on who has the hill. Mangonel shots. Dodging. Mangonel's going down, skirms clearing cav archers. I think Byzantines could do for having Cataphract more accessible with cheaper text, but maybe shave off 2 of the anti-cav armor. I mean, they did make Elite Cataphract and Logistica cheaper. I think they're actually in a really good spot. For team games, you actually do see Byzantines going Cataphracts quite a bit. We just haven't really seen many team games outside of Rage Forest. The fact that you have a cav unit that counters halbs means that you can throw them into the front of a melee fight and have a bit more longevity to them. And if you're then mixing in other cav from other civs along with them, so you have Byzantines going Cataphracts and another civ going Paladins, you're clearing the halbs out of the field, and you're still having another melee unit to absorb some of the archer fire. And yeah, the archers could try to focus the Cataphracts, but then that's a lot more micro. Yeah, and Elite Cataphracts wreck camels. They wreck the Imperial camels. I don't know if there is a camel they lose to with all the camel bonuses these days. But even Mamluks. You don't really want to fight Mamluks with the ranged attack, but Cataphracts are still kind of good at resisting the bonus there. So Hera retaking the hill with his Mangonels and his cav archers. Gujaras with frontier guards. Do they even lose to that? Because the frontier guards is extra armor, but the Logistica splash damage is still great. If anything, they at least need to stop the patrol stacking in the fights. They have extra bonus that they bypass the cav armor. Ah, interesting. Maybe it depends on how you take the fight then, because Logistica makes Cataphracts extra strong in the patrol stacking. So it feels like Sebastian's just dying here to the cav. Oh, nice Mangonel shot to the cav archers. There's another TC for him. He still is up by 2 vills and up by what? That's 2,500 resources collected. But he's still struggling to get army numbers out. He could lose some vills on that gold. Has to take some Mangonel damage there. As he tries to chase the cav archers, important to take the Mangonels down so that the skirms can be useful. Kashyyyks do well in this matchup? Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah, Sebastian buying food. And that's an 80 to 37 KD for a Hera. Remember when Sebastian was raiding and damaging Hera? I mean, this map you do have to rather quickly take the gold at the top. I mean, there's so little gold, maybe this even becomes a situation where you're going silk armor and light cav raids. You don't spend gold on imp, simply add TCs and farmers, and start spamming light cav. You go CA light cav in the Castle Age. Maya may be one of the few civs that could go imp and do bracer for their arbs, and they're cheap enough they can still make them. But there's so little gold. And Sebastian losing some more skirms. As the fights he's been taking this game have been horrible. This has been everything going in Hera's favor. Let me keep an eye on my Discord messages too. Alright. Oh, yeah, I'm getting all the map messages now. So, 2-0 Hera. That's 100 to 41 KD, as we see... we see how things can go wrong on this map when you don't have the hill. And that's so weird how he consistently had such a better eco. And just could not take a fight against the Tatars. I guess you would need overwhelmingly better crossbow numbers as the Maya, and that time he walked in and did so much damage meant he only had better numbers and not overwhelmingly better numbers, and was constantly at a disadvantage downhill. So, GG. And did I not save my... I need to save. Alright, so the next map is going to be a good map, alright? It's going to be a good map. And you know why? This is going to be Arena. And we all love a good game of Arena, don't we? Let's see, where are these drafts? There they are. So that was... win for the Tatars, loss for the Maya. What's the Arena civ for Sebastian? Burmese? Burmese versus Spanish. Or Bohemians, or Bengalis, or Armenians, or Portugal. Why does Hera have 5 insane Arena civs? Has to be Burmese Monk Rush. Let me double check the list of maps of the Showmatch. Alright, let's just message Memb about some map info. And Arena! So, Bohemians, Burmese here. Alright, no surprise about these civs. Although, Hera, I guess he could have picked any civ. And had a good one. So here we are, Arena. So players Opposite sides of the map here, we'll have 7 relics scattered throughout the middle. No back walls, pretty good deer push for them. And players will have it to peer to lure in. That one's kind of far away, but still within the line of sight. Bit of a deer push now for Hera. So very standard arena. Standard 1080 HP walls, so they can tower rush if they want to. But Bohemians, Burmese, this could become a monk rush. Bohemians, they do have heresy, but the Burmese have an insane eco for a monk rush. All of their monastery techs, minus 50%. And in terms of going for a quick and aggressive monk rush, I think they're probably the best civ for monks right now. And I think that their goal is to win the game with the monk rush before heresy kicks in for Hera. Oh my gosh, Hera getting heresy. What would that be? Oh, what amazing that would be. So full clown incoming with these civs. Why delete a tile of wall to build a house there? That was just a misclick. There was the wall extended to the forest over here, and so he tried to clear out a segment of wall and then deleted it and made a hole. Oh, you know what? You know what? That's a good pun. Heresy. He's going to do Town Watch so that he can get vision on the house and see more. So, forward gold for Hera, but he will have a back one he can go to, too. We'll have Feudal Age on the way, too, for him. Yeah, Heresy. I like that. I like that. If Hera researches Town Watch, all of his units will die instead of being converted. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll need to save that someday. So market and blacksmith for Sebastian. So, Castle Age here, at the same time for both. All vills forward. And actually Sebastian, look at that. Sebastian has the H for Hera Gold. He has the H for Hera Gold. Hera gonna do a house wall. Well, house walls won't stop redemption monks. Slow them down, maybe. But I imagine this is the same thing. 23 vills each, and they'll go forward for monks. So 25 pop, 25 pop, and this should be lots and lots of monks. Also, 7 relics, so that's going to encourage some monk play too. I feel like in the right hands, they're unbeatable, so they have such a nice tech tree and army comp. I'm not sure what the current meta is on Arena with all of the new civs. Whether it's monk rushing or Spanish-going missionaries, woo for fire archers. Yeah, 6 seconds of idle time for Hera? What is this? But 8 on gold. I'll have 7 on gold for Sebastian. If I'm Sebastian, I kind of like that mining camp to be behind the gold, but... There we go. Oh, where are those vills going? We're going to have monasteries, but not straightforward monasteries directly between them. He's going to be hiding the monasteries over to the side a bit. So Hera won't see it. Triple monasteries for Hera. They'll be in his base. Hera will see this. He'll be like, should I go in? Should I not go in? What's going on? And now he'll see it. Now he'll see it. Now the Vils can try to fight it. Maybe Sebastian needed to patch up the wall, but he sold the stone. Could have long distance mined some stone at some point. 4 monasteries! Oh, let's go. 4 monasteries. This is what I want to see. There is atonement for Hera. He's going to need to do devotion. So in this situation, you need devotion, atonement, or devotion, fervor, and atonement. Fervor makes your monks move faster. If your monks are slower, you'll never be able to retreat. But the priorities are atonement, devotion, then fervor. And it'll be relics for Sebastian, so huge advantage for him in the monk war if he has all the relic gold. How many do you need to go on gold to keep 4 relics busy? Well, remember, there are 4 monasteries. There are 7 relics on the map. So when you get more relics, you don't need as many Vils on gold. So 5 relics is just about 6 Vils on gold. So when you get that, and your eco is 13 Vils on gold, you're basically increasing your gold income by 50%. So how many to keep 4 monasteries working? I'm not exactly sure. But Sebastian, his position here is good if he gets atonement in time. I don't think he needs sanctity. But the problem is he didn't scout what Hera was doing, because Hera is also going for monasteries. And sanctity might be a bit of a waste for him, as atonement just now coming in. Now, scout blocking... Oh, Hera gets the scout, but maybe Sebastian gets it back. Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. There's a monk. Conversion swapped onto scouts. Oh, 2 conversions for Hera. What is this conversion luck? What is this conversion luck? Monk goes down. So I went from really liking Sebastian's position with all the relics. He now has 6 relics. So his position is probably still better. Wait, Sebastian will delete a bit. So we're now at 7 to 6. And devotion, 5th monastery. Let's go, let's go. Sebastian, your base is still open. That could be a problem. Oh, we have a bit of a pause there. Game is paused. I wonder if they're lagging again. We have a sorry go from Hera. Probably just lagging a bit.
Yes.
The meta is whatever Hera does. Oh, that monastery might be denied, but more importantly, the monks can start charging on the Vil. What are the conversions going to be like here? Will the scouts get converted? One of them will. Oh, there's a conversion on the monk that the scout was attacking. And Vil trying to finish the monastery, Hera trying to do a workshop. Redemption is very cheap for the Burmese. Hera getting the monk advantage now. So Bohemian's getting the free mining camp upgrades. Free gold mining and gold shaft mining. Compared to 6 relics. I do think 6 relics is probably better than that, but then what do I know? Maybe the Bohemians just have enough gold to make this work. Maybe Bohemians are actually the better save than the Burmese. The upgrades came in early, and now res collected. I mean, that's 500 more for Sebastian. He needs to figure out a way to take the monk conversions properly. It's only 3 monks to 11. And maybe he needs to stay garrisoned in the monasteries for a moment. Wait until he has more monks. Yeah, you just watch the military bar go back and forth. Oh, Sebastian. Sebastian needs to learn how to clown more. Sebastian needs to learn how to clown more. And now the monk numbers are snowballing, but Sebastian, he needs to get conversions and then, like, mass delete monks, maybe? He gets a good couple of conversions there. Now just turn back and forth. And the problem is, as the monasteries go down, Hera will then get the relics.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is the best type of game. And Sebastian, I think, had a couple of mistakes early on, where he ended up getting the monk numbers snowballing. Where's the devotion stats? Devotion, yeah, they're both devoted. Oh, but no fervor. No fervor. So Hera certainly ahead in upgrades now with fervor. And Hera just works towards heresy, clicks it, and then wins. I'm even trying to convert the scout. Yeah, a couple of early conversions and it snowballed. And look at how much more resource Sebastian has collected. But the micro on the monks wasn't quite there. And now the question is just, will he eventually have enough, will he have enough gold to overcome the advantage in monks? And there's heresy, though, for Hera. Hera getting heresy, and with heresy, he probably wins the game. Look at all that relic gold Sebastian has. That is the difference in res collected now. 1,200 relic gold in climbing. Cloud meta, oh my gosh, this is the best type of game. I love these games. Oh, this is amazing. The monks getting converted back and forth. Great debate of faith. Yeah, this is a pacifist game. They're just debating everything. Yelling at each other, trying to convince, no, I'm right, no, I'm right. Sebastian needs to pick up the relics once they're ejected. He needs to go grab them, put them in the other monasteries. So 13 to 9, monk numbers snowballing back and forth. Sebastian needs to keep clicking. Just needs to click everything. And now Hera's monks are gonna die. So Hera will convert Sebastian's monks, then Hera's monks will die. So he reached heresy, and he is fine. There's a GG. But, I mean, better Civ with heresy, I guess, for Hera there. Burmese, most aggressive monk rush, but Hera showing how you can hold out and get to heresy. And with the relic gold is insane. Look at how much gold Sebastian got from all the relics. But what does heresy? So what's the conversions? 59 or 57 to 49 conversions. And just to double check, what does Hera see? We can look at what he sees. He sees everything. He sees everything. The monks have great line of sight. Best game, best game. No one tower rushed either, but that's what happens if you have free pick of civs on Arena. Sometimes you get the monk war. Oh, I love that type of game. Alright, so the next map in our show match now. This will be Seasons. Seasons. (7-0). I mean, Hera could do that to anyone. You can even do that to Lyria, you could do it to Viper. But you saw how great the vision was for Hera, and how much he was able to see that game. So I can show everyone between the games. I need to get a new phone soon because there's a good purple line down my phone screen. That's been happening for a good 6 months now. So it's time for T West to get a new phone this summer. So the map now will be Seasons. Sebastian messaged me ahead of time about this map. There are lots of shallows on the map. And thank you, Jackins, for the follow. Try with some rice? I mean, if it were like a water issue, it'd probably have resolved itself by now. It's a weird thing, because sometimes I can take a screenshot, and when I take the screenshot, then after taking a screenshot, it disappears. So what exactly is wrong with the phone, I don't know, but it's 2 years old, time for a new phone anyway, I guess. Phones do not last as long as they should. Info leaked. How are we doing? We're doing great, other than my phone being broken. Other than that, we're doing great. So Japanese versus Bengalis. Now on season, Sebastian here. Oh, I need to update the civs. Sorry, update the civs. Bengalis and Japanese. There we go. So Japanese for Sebastian to the west in the blue. Bengalis for Hera to the east in the red. Phones are too expensive and too fragile. I agree. The music always has you like that. Yeah. So someone told me though, I do have like an hour of background music from AoE 1, 2, and Mythology, but it does kind of get repetitive at some point. So I might want to go look to find some other games and add different soundtracks. So the starting resources you get on this map can be a bit random. Different seasons have different distributions, but what is consistent is that there are shallows in the middle, and there are crossing points, but different seasons have different amounts of shallows, and you have to scout to find where they are. This is also on my list of, I probably want to make this consistent and just increase the amount of shallows. But dock from Sebastian, and kind of a hybrid between Highland and Golden Stream. Same resources on each side of the map. Reminds you of the Up Down Girls song? I have no idea what that is, Adam.
Hi.
Also, how you doing, Adam? You have any new music projects coming along soon? Speaking of background music for AoE 2 streams. I was thinking of going to some other games, like, I don't even know what, but to get some more background themes. Maybe Medieval Total War, The Witcher, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Just get some, like, medieval themes I can put so that I vary the background music a bit. Because Ray was complaining, he's like, I hear the same music all the time whenever I watch your stream. Song from 2000s. That sounds, just based on the title, that sounds like it'd be a 2000-something era song. I'd probably recognize it if I heard it. So, late dock for Hera, Sebastian already 2 Japanese fishing ships. I wonder if Hera could FC Rathas on this map. Ignore the water, FC Ratha. Loom for Sebastian. He looks like he'll just play Feudal Age water. Well, Loom for Hera too. He's going up. Will he have food for an FC with the extra deer? Also, there's one relic in the middle on the crossings. Three on each side, and there is a barracks for Sebastian. Oh, he didn't finish the fox. That fox will decay a bit. But you do get gold from the foxes. A relatively new item added to the game. You take the gold very fast, and it just teleports into your stockpile. Oh, scout fight, scout fight. Sebastian will not actually be feudal first, so he doesn't want to take the scout fight. But he's far ahead in res collected. And Hera will, of course, end up scouting the barracks and the militia. Or will he not? Oh, he won't, he won't. He will find the Vil by the dock, but the Vil has Loom. Scout took a couple of hits, so even in feudal might not want to fight. Sebastian has to get his sheep under his TC. Needs to learn from the Dergao Nikov game yesterday. Even if you're not against Celts, still keep your sheep safe. There's Hera feudal. There's Sebastian feudal. Men-at-Arms crossing the shallows. And the scout will see that, so Hera knows what's coming. And he's going to start walling everything. There's Man-at-Arms. Second dock. Hera will make a Hulk. One Hulk also from Sebastian. Nikov won that yesterday. That was an incredible set. You got to see drill siege onagers. And there is the Hulk getting by the dock, forcing the Vil back when Hulks have one range. And Hera trying to keep the fish safe, but the Hulk will keep grappling them. As another Hulk comes forward. 3 Hulks even for Sebastian. Now he has to be careful not to overinvest in water. Has to be careful not to overinvest. Oh, and thank you, Jessica. Oh my gosh, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Jessica. Welcome in. We're here casting Hera versus Sebastian. We got a show match for Warlords that it's gonna start this. The tournament starts this weekend. I'm editing the map script so I get to see what bugs and changes I need to make. So thank you so much. Hope you had a lovely stream. Oh, thank you so much for the raid. So Hera's gonna lose the dock. Sebastian's men-at-arms are hoovering around the front of his base. This might be Sebastian's chance to pick up a win. And so far, so good. He's winning the water. And hopefully this map doesn't prove to be like Lensora's Mariensis, where every time you win the water, you lose the game. Got a Japanese fish boom. Fish are plentiful. No oysters or whales, just fish. Now Hera trying to chase the men-at-arms with archers, but at least Sebastian knows what composition Hera has, and the composition is archers. What phone do I use? I have a Pixel 8. I don't think I'm gonna get another Pixel though. I'm gonna get a relatively cheap $200 price point phone. I have no idea what a Z Fold 7 is. I'm not up to date on phones. So Hulks will be hulking around. But Sebastian with more Hulks as he's destroyed Hera's dock. Hera has 1 idle fishing ship. A 7 sweep. Hey, Sebastian's got a score lead. He's got a score lead. He's got the water. Needs maybe a demo or a couple of galleys to stop Hera from crossing, but he's up to the castle age. Hera will be a bit slower. Hulks do not stop archers, but fires should. And there he goes, forcing Hera back. Fishing lines for Sebastian. This is a show match. Tournament will be this weekend. Man, Seasons is such a trip back for a map, though. This is one of those ES custom maps they added in the Conquerors. The Age of Kings didn't actually have any custom map scripting. Map scripting was only added in the Conquerors, and they added some example scripts. This was one of them. And here is Hera crossing the water. Sebastian is walled, so shouldn't take immediate damage from the archers. And probably will be able to re-wall behind this. He has Vils on the berries he can send. Yeah, hard to cross, but not impossible to cross. The river is wide enough that it won't be impossible. And a couple of docks for Hera, so he'll try to retake water in the Castle Age. Sebastian has a fishing ship scouting for that, so maybe he'll see it. Now, after winning the water, this is really about scouting for Sebastian, making sure that he doesn't lose control of what Hera's doing. But maybe that's the case. Maybe he will, as 2 docks will go up for Hera. And the archers start coming forward. Is the map bigger? Nope, it's not bigger. Normal 120 by 120. Unless, of course, the map changes that, and I'm not aware of it. But For the Brazil Dynasty maps, I had a lot of stuff on the edges that kind of compacted it a bit. Like Vala de Silva had all those forests on the edges that forced you together. Or Sea dos Carajas, which felt like maybe one of the bigger maps, but the hills, I think, kind of made it feel a bit more condensed. Amazonia had a lot going on, but that was a river and the two sides were kind of thin, and that was maybe the biggest, quote-unquote, or the boomiest. Let's see, Pantanal also had all those woodlines on the outside that enclosed it a bit. And Fernando de Noronha was an islands map, which was just the standard 120 by 120 tiles, but of course less land because of the island nature of the map. And we think Satan probably just felt open that the size was fine. So here's Sebastian winning water. War galleys attacking the crossbows. Misty one because of the crossbow play. I feel like that was where Hera actually kind of lost to Leary. At least maybe not crossbows, but an archer micro. It felt like Leary was heads and tails above everyone else in the openings for Empire Wars. Even Hera. And then the reason Hera won was because better than anyone else, he was able to survive the opening and get to the late game. And Hera's gonna lose the docks. Water snowballs really hard. A demo! A demo? That's gonna do nothing, Hera. It's a feudal demo. That's also the difficulty in figuring out how I want to tweak or rebalance maps before the finals of the Brazil LAN. Because I don't necessarily know if there's going to be a water patch. I mean, the LAN's in July. We have the rest of April, then May and June for a potential patch. So some scrubs go down. Skirms will pick a Vil. Vil goes down, or not Skirms, crossbows will pick a Vil. So Hera's still with 3 forward crossbows. He's gonna add a second TC, but Sebastian's had his second TC for a while. He's doing a market, and this is just Japanese on a hybrid map. This is Japanese right in their wheelhouse. His openings were so strong, he never made it to the late game, so he was less practiced there. That might be true. Also, it just might be a playstyle thing where Hera tends to hold on really long and attempt to win games when he's behind. Different players have different thresholds to resign. Somewhere between resigning very early whenever something goes wrong to ACCM level. And your practice for different levels of the game ends up being different depending on that. I remember that being one of the pieces of advice that Riet had in his old videos. Don't give up right away. Keep playing and see if you can make something happen. And Lucho versus... Was that... Who was that versus Stone, please? Was that Prisma or Lucho? That on Arukarias resigned 3 minutes in and just went to the final game. And Deduzu. Yeah, that Deduzu Daniel set from TTL was crazy. So, gill nets for Sebastian. He is booming. He's keeping the fish boom going. Keeping the fish boom active and alive as the crossbow's picked off. Let me check my messages here. Apparently they had 150 starting stone. So that was weird. How does Hera have a lower elo? It's just their ladder elo. Hera's been 3k before on the ladder. At some point, he probably doesn't... If he's not 100% grinding hardcore on the ladder, he'll probably have a lower elo. There are some players who really try hard on the ladder and some people who take a more relaxed approach. And Hera probably has different approaches at different times. Does elo decay over time? Yes, if you don't play. Then it decays. Only if you're high up on the ladder, I think above 1600. And I think the higher you are, the more it decays. But it stops decaying after a month. I think there are, like... If you don't play for 2 weeks, then there are a couple of intervals where it decays. I think there are, like, you don't play for 2 weeks, and then the next week and the week after, it'll decay. So it decays 3 times. Inviting Hera to a play all 7 was maybe a mistake. Maybe. Ladder saying I'm gonna fast castle every game. You could. And honestly, that wouldn't be a bad way of practicing, right? That's part of... Like, if you want to practice a strat, you do the same thing maybe 10 times in a row just to try to get strengths and weaknesses worked out. You just say, I'm gonna go scouts 10 times in a row, go men-at-arms 10 times in a row, and then just kind of measure out different responses to it, different strengths and weaknesses. That's a pretty good way of practicing. I know that's another part of advice I've heard from pro players before. Then when you get to the tournaments, you'll have a better idea of what to choose in different situations. Oh, that was a nice relic pickup there from Hera. So Imp will be in first for Sebastian. He has all the water as the Japanese. And he might just hit the problem, as we've seen so many times, that you take all the fish, and then you need to build the fish traps. And it's a lot of wood to invest into fish traps, but he's picking up relics. There's another outpost for Sebastian. There's a castle for Sebastian. So, Racer Chemistry for Sebastian. And Hera up to the Imperial Age. There's Chemistry, Bracer also for Hera. 3 ranges. And Mangonel's trade-off there. And I think Sebastian should win this. I don't think there's a way Hera holds out against Japanese with full water control. Maybe we need a wonder victory. Mangonel hitting the house. Monk takes the relic. And another castle going up in the back. We're going to have an outpost up in the back for Sebastian. Treb hitting the TC. And I think... Does he have fishing lines and gill nets? Yes, he does. I think Hera just slowly but surely loses his map control to the Trebs in the push from Sebastian. And this is where some players would have called GG a long time ago. But Hera's one who's going to try to hang on, see if there's a way he can figure it out. Maybe get a different understanding of the late game Civ matchup. Yasama Towers for Sebastian. Siege Engineers for Hera. Treb's hitting the castle. Ring Archer Armor, Yasama Ballistics, all for Sebastian. Ooh, Veil picked by the skirms. Hera housed. I mean, the only way Hera wins this game is if Sebastian accidentally deletes all of his docks, and then also deletes all of his castles, and all of his archery ranges, and all of his galleys, and all of his army. And even then, the res collected difference is enough, maybe Sebastian would still win. Wouldn't delete the docks, not the type. I say there's a I say there's a chance. Sebastian doesn't change the hotkeys. So skirms all going down here. Accidents can happen. Perhaps Sebastian should not return from his boar hunt. But now skirms and trebs. I think we've seen skirms every game aside from arena, and seeing arena without skirms was nice. Now that castle will go down. So conscription for Sebastian. Trebs go down. And the next Treb almost down. Bill's trying to repair the castle. Bill's got to repair the Trebs. Castle, how many Trebs is this? 9 Trebs. He doesn't have Cataparuto, Sebastian. You're the Japanese. You have 9 Trebs. You need Cataparuto. Well, the KD is still equal. Even though it's 6,000 res collected of a difference. 1 samurai, 2 cannon galleons. Well, Hera denied one of his golds. Should be out of gold fairly soon. Only has 2 tiles of gold in the back. And that'll be scale barding armor for Hera. And Samurai looking to push trebuchets. And Bills will repair. And a castle right on the edge of the map for Hera. He's got to guard the outside. The earth is flat. It's turtles all the way down, and he's got to make sure those turtles are safe from all these trebuchets. But I hope you all like skirmishers. Hera thinking I like skirmishers. I'll build a castle here. Oh, will he treb the cannon galleon? Has to be careful. The cannon galleon might get one shot by a treb. He has to dodge. Hera will repair that castle. Sebastian keeps pushing. This next castle already needs to be repaired. And there's a GG from Hera. Sebastian gets himself on the scoreboard. Let's go, Sebastian. Not gonna be swept. Whoever said it was 7-0, at the very least, did not account for the fact Japanese were Sebastian's civ for the hybrid map. So there we go. Japanese winning. He also has Dravidians against Bengalis. Yep, play all 7. Just to show off the maps. So it's a play all. Also, again, just gonna give another shout out to Memb. I'm sure you know who he is, but go give him a follow if you haven't, because he is hosting this and putting the event together for us. Gotta catch up on my YouTube chat. Uptown Girl from 1983 by Billy Joel. So the next map is going to be something of a new one. It'll be Shorelines. This is, I think, a good map. Was made by Zetnus for last Warlords, and this will probably be the Dravidians from Sebastian. And for Hera, it might be the Spanish, or it might be the Armenians or Portuguese. Romans have to be for Skakuza at the end for him. Spanish for the Nomad map we have next. So I'm going to say he goes Armenians here. That's my guess of the matchup. Armenians, Dravidians. You'll see Shorelines in a moment. It'll be a map. There's lots of water in one area. Basically a U shape of land with an island in the middle surrounded by a river with lots of shallows and crossings. Lots of stuff going on the map. I did adjust it to try to make it a bit more fair from a previous version we had. And let's see, do I still have the line? Nope, no line on my phone right now. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, so chat, everyone, all of the subs and support that we got throughout all the Brazilian Dynasty casting, that is going towards Twest needs a phone that doesn't have a purple line down it. And oh, look, it disappeared. That's what you do, chat. You make the line disappear. Let's see, if I turn it off and on, it'll probably appear after a couple attempts. Oh no, it went away. It's so random. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And look, if I turn my, as I showed you, if I take the screenshot or turn my phone off and on, the line disappears. So let's see. Are they launching? They're still in the lobby. And random player joins the lobby. see if they're going. They recently launched the Pixel 10a. Hope I can find a 9a. I don't think I'm going to get another Pixel, though. The past two Pixels have suffered very quick deaths. I was looking at one of the cheaper Samsung phones. I think my goal is to spend less than $200 on the phone this time, not $400. I'll take a trip to the store once I'm done with some of the map scripting I'm doing and see what they have. There are a couple of Verizon stores around here. I usually go in-store to get the phone just to be told that they can't actually do anything in-store anymore and that I have to call their customer service anyway, which makes absolutely no sense. That's the world these days. Yeah, so tomorrow T90 will be playing Nilly, and we will cast that. And Armenians Dravidians called it on Shorelines. So here we go. Hera will be the red Armenians to the southwest, Sebastian the blue Dravidians to the northeast. And on this map, what I did was I balanced out the shorelines. In the past, sometimes we'd have one player where the shoreline took a harsh turn, and they had all the fish in the water all in the corner, and one player would have land that looked like this. So now it's more balanced. The land goes to the edge, and players do have to walk a bit to get a good dock location. And I think that does indeed make some type of early drush where you delay the dock a bit more interesting. Or actually docking the river first, an option. Versus Sebastian going all the way out here, where he will have oysters, but not necessarily guaranteed a good deep fish. Hera here able to scout the fish location and see where to place the dock. Yeah, T90 versus Nilly, truly low elo legends. Then maybe that's what I should title the stream. Low elo legends. So he'll hunt the deer. Again, iPhone I am not using any Apple product. It's bad enough we have Microsoft products with AoE too. I'm not getting any type of iPhone. I really do need to look into the capture age running on Linux stuff. So I would love to not have to use Windows 11. I feel like it is in every way a downgrade from Windows 10. And even just my day-to-day using it experience. Like the start menu barely works. I don't know how they managed to mess that up, but I literally searching for stuff in the start menu is so laggy and unresponsive. Dave's sons? Is that what T90 and Nilly are? Dave's sons? So we have Loom for Hera. So this map, after we adjusted the coastline, we have one relic on each coastline for each player. There are relics towards the top of the map too, and then 3 relics on the middle island where there are tons and tons of berries and deer, and also many groups of gold. So lots of extra resources right in the middle. You claim the middle, you're maybe vulnerable to cannon galleons from the sea. But this is a water map that I feel is actually still kind of interesting. And forward from Sebastian. Now in the past we have seen strategies such as drushes and archery ranges and other pushes on this map. And maybe Sebastian thinking of doing something sneaky, or maybe he simply wants a forward dock, getting more access to fish. As there are quite a few oysters scattered about here. I guess in a ring around the center. There's a water terrain, goes from shallow to deep, and it looks like the oysters are placed on one of those transition areas. Ooh. Sometimes I edit the map scripts entirely, and I don't even see what all the original authors do until I cast it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how that works. And Vil on the dock for Hera, walling himself in. But the thing that I think makes this map interesting is you don't have to play full water. You can go forward. Imagine 5 men-at-arms walking in, followed by a forward range. And a galley first queued by Hera. As he tries to save the... Wait, what happens? Oh, Hera's dock might be denied. Hera's dock might be denied by Sebastian. But just finishes the dock. I guess Sebastian got through the palisade. Hera didn't repair enough, and he'll lose a Vil. Alright, let's go, Sebastian. Triple docks now on the water. Hera needs a second dock. The scout has lost enough HP. He's actually only lost 3 HP. Where's Hera's scout? Hera's scout is forward. That lost a lot of HP. Must have ran into a TC. So 1-0 Eco KD. Sebastian not going to sit around and deny the dock, but maybe a fire galley could. You'll see the dock and the fish down here. And the dock will go up. Fire galley pushing that galley away. And scout down to the galleys. And scout immediately, oh my gosh, the fire galleys destroyed that scout right away. Another galley taken down by the fire. As Hera's just going to play fletching galleys, let's micro, and out-micro Sebastian. Lots of weak galleys, but they'll take down this fire galley. That goes down. Fire's pushing the dock over here. Dock close to going down. Oh, I thought that was a demo for a second. No, I got excited because I thought I saw a demo. It was just a galley. Just a galley. Hera shouldn't be able to repair for long with galleys here. He's trying to go fire galley plus galley. Which these days does feel like it beats pure galley. As much as I love pure galley. Maybe there just aren't enough fires, though. Sebastian needs to be able to take an engagement, if that's going to be the play. He needs to force the engagement. A dumbbell map? What about a dumbbell map? This is like a kettlebell map with the water. I guess Isthmus kind of is like a dumbbell map. can't unsee it now. Yeah, you're right. Can't unsee it now. We need a good generic description for every map. What shape it looks like. Galleys push the fires and the galleys back. And Harry's just trying to galley micro. And maybe the fact that this is so narrow actually is good for the galleys. Look at the micro go. He's devastating these galleys. Sebastian not engaging with the fires. Because you can't really get a good surround to push the galleys back with fires like you could on a more open map. It's this narrow river that Hera simply sails up and down. And the fire galleys have such a wide radius to them, where they have to avoid each other. Unless you're... Maybe this is just a micro error where Sebastian needs patrol stacking somehow to get the fire galleys in a closer formation. Could send some from behind, yep. No hulks? Well, I guess hulks don't make sense from Sebastian because he's against pure galleys. And right now, Hera finding success enough with the galleys that he hasn't had to add hulks. So Sebastian says, I'm losing water, let's do something on land. He's going to be up in just a moment. Hera won't be too far behind him and going up. Sebastian actually really far ahead in terms of resources collected. But you're on a very quick timer to do damage to the Armenians before they get up and can do fortified churches. Because Hera does one fortified church on the shallows, and I think that stops any type of land push. Now, I could still come around that way. But that would stop a land push pretty easily. And then Castle Age for Sebastian. As fire galleys pop out of the docks. Some sea skirms. Heresy skirms. Well, he has fire galleys now. Are those like sea skirms? I mean, it's a triangle. It isn't really a skirm roll. And it will be... Is this going to be Dravidian elephant This is going to be elephant archers from Sebastian. This is going to be elephant archers. He hasn't made anything on the way up. Dravidians don't have cav archers. They have elephant archers. Can reach almost everything with the long-range ships. The long-range warships, the galleys. Get Sebastian up to the Castle Age. And a town center for him in the middle. So medium warships from both players. Sebastian not going to give up the water entirely. He will bring some fires around the back to hit the dock. And he's actually going to go 3 TC, so he will boom while making Dravidian elephant archers. This is a play right here. Now this is a play. Fires here, maybe he could... Oh, Hera's housed! He's housed! He's not producing from the docks all at the same time. Now he sees the elephant archers wandering straight into his economy. He needs to pay attention to this. He's not running the vills. He doesn't have anything at home. He needs monks, he needs skirms. He's got nothing. All he can do is house is... He's microing on the water. He has a huge lead on the water. Hera may be going to learn what we learned in the Brazil tournament. Winning the water means you lose the game? Probably not, because he will make a fortified church, and these things build so quickly, there's no point to raiding anyone. They'll just build the churches, and it's over. Now he makes monks. And so if there is a civ to defend against this, Armenians, Georgians high up on the list. No ballistics for the elephants. No fletching even for the elephants. So Hera doesn't even need to pay attention to the land. Whenever something comes in, it's just like, I'll plop down a church. No worries. Insta-church. Insta-church. Weakville. Sebastian, find the Weakville. Find the Weakville. Nice. Has to run from the monk. Run from the monk. He's losing on water. He still has around 1,000 more resources collected. But he can't deal with Hera's micro of the war galleys, now galleys. Or of the galleys, now war galleys. I got that backwards. Fires and war galleys all going down. There's an elephant archer harassing fishing ships, being useful. And now Bodkin could be nice for Sebastian. Hera, of course, has it because of all the ships he has. But still, 64 to 42 Vils. Sebastian, I think, still has a chance. I think this was the nice thing about Lençóis Maranhenses from the Brazil map pack, that there was still action going on during the booming stage, with some raids and players spreading out for Vils. And we didn't just see a pure boom. Here it's kind of hard to do anything other than a pure boom because of the fighting across the middle. An elephant there deleted to avoid the conversion. Oh, Hera, get the relic. There he goes. He gets the relic. He sees it. Not immediately, but soon enough to grab it. So fishing ships here all going down. We'll have a workshop forward for Sebastian, who still wants to pressure on land, but lost an elephant archer to conversion, and then we'll lose more as it gets healed. But he's still trying to pressure Hera's wood line. Hera floating a lot of wood, needs to add farms. Elephant's trying to shoot the Vils. And there's a range as the mangonel comes out. Armenians do have redemption, so if Hera wants to go monk defense against mangonels, he can. And he needs the mangonel now to save the elephants from conversion. Somehow that attack round doesn't kill the elephant. Needs to kill the monk. Gets one hit. Hera will try to run the monk away. The monk is faster than the mangonel, so 3 HP, and he might survive if he can dodge an attack ground. But he can't. Oh, but look, there's another fortified church. And the mangonel will be stopped easily by the church. Mangonel hitting the Vil. And the church able to push this away. Monk healing the elephant archer. Mangonel kills a monk. And Sebastian still, he's 83 Vils to 62. Hera's 3 TCs now, but the pressure is coming in, and Hera's put all this effort to win the water, only has 6 fishing ships. I think Sebastian still would be in an okay spot if he only could apply land pressure, but these churches are such a good defense. And somehow feel absolutely perfect. There's a converted elephant. That monk's still forced away. It is so hard to mangonel churches, you can repair them for days. That's going to be a weak elephant killed, too. Oh, 4 HP. And the mangonels. Mangonels can't save it. Monks are there still. Clutching Bodkin could be nice for Sebastian, too. He doesn't have Bodkin for the elephants. Handcart for him, but he's focusing on his eco. He just wants a little bit of pressure while he's booming, and his hope is going to be to win center control plus a boom. And Hera sending Vils to the center. Does he know what Sebastian has there? He does not. And there will be an elephant archer and 2 ranges. So I don't think Hera should get this up. But Sebastian maybe needs to queue a monk and 2 elephant archers now and then start converting Vils. Sebastian has to pay attention to this. Sebastian letting Hera do a TC, get gold access that he probably shouldn't have. That monk needs to convert. Hera gonna dance the Vil and not even die to the elephant archer. Sebastian's paying attention elsewhere. And this is painful for Sebastian, as Hera with 1 Vil will dance and distract the elephant archer. And imagine that, just 2 archers, not even elephant archers. I'm not sure what the production speed is, but monk plus 2 archers from the range would have stopped this. But Hera now gets a TC. Sebastian, though, could instantly castle drop the TC. And honestly, I wouldn't even mind that. That would keep Hera off of gold for a while. But Hera still has gold in the back. This push denying one of his golds. As the elephant archers keep pushing, and we'll have Imperial Age for Sebastian. The monks want to convert the Mangonel. Mangonel getting a hit on the elephants, but now redemption is in. Imp also for Hera. So how quickly can Hera get to the Imp? When will he see Imp? And deleted Mangonel. Killed Monk. 3 elephant archers for Hera. So Hera going Armenian elephant archers. And, oh, Castle War in the middle, so it will be a Treb War. So Sebastian doing the immediate TC drop, or Castle drop on the TC. And now where is Imp? Imp is in this TC, the starting TC for Hera. He's a fortified church. Okay, so I gotta reply to a message there. So, forward castle from Hera, and Sebastian is just falling apart now. He's just falling apart. The elephant archers could not do damage. The Armenians with the churches were so good at defending. And then this felt almost like the classic type of game. Sebastian had enough of a boom, he should have been able to take the land even if he didn't have water. But yes, this doesn't look like it's gonna work out. Another forward castle from Hera. Trebuchets here. Another Treb attacking, going for the TC, and then going for the castle. TC is trebbed. There's chemistry from Sebastian. Is chemistry going to be enough? I mean, Dravidians do have bombard cannon. Hera could even add Dromans here. Sebastian doing what he can to hold on and help that this pressure will work, but I just don't see it. I mean, he still has a hope, right? He still has a hope that Hera is starved of resources. He can win a Treb War in the middle, but winning the Treb War also means you need to push the Mule Cart player off of gold, which so far he hasn't been able to do. And now Hera pushing into Sebastian's base, and Sebastian does not have forces to stop this. Nope, you get refunded everything that was, if like this castle were destroyed right now, the Treb resources, the 200 wooden food, or wooden gold would be refunded to Sebastian. He doesn't lose it. Treb's still can attack this castle. As that goes down. And then ballistics for Sebastian. Finally ballistics after all those elephant archers he's had. But is there a way that Sebastian holds the middle and somehow wins this game? That would be absolutely crazy if he did. But I think Hera, now he has even more gold access over here. He can start coming around the outside. Sebastian trying to hold more map control. As he's losing his base, Hera actually has all of Sebastian's starting resources now. Sebastian getting a couple of cannon now. He takes the score lead to push this back. Hera gonna castle drop here. Those Trebs could immediately unpack and try to destroy that castle. I mean, the resources collected are so much more for Sebastian. He's kind of pushed back Hera's pressure. Oh my gosh, that mill. This is a campaign mill. With the farms a tile away. That is a campaign mill. Shorelines is OP map. I think Mem's enjoying this. Samuel Cart goes down. Treb's going for the castle. Will Sebastian do this? He's taking a huge score lead. I think maybe, even with the amazing fortified church defense, Hera might be learning that winning the water means you lose the map. He doesn't have cannon galleons, though. He has dromons. I don't know if dromons... Yeah, dromons, he has one here, but it can't range the castle. The castle's too far inland. The dromons don't have much range, only 12. And also no siege engineers for the Armenians, so that's it. And a couple of Urumi swordsmen attacking a Treb. Attacking a Treb. Hera pushing this back, but that castle... Not gonna be a good decision with the Trebs right there. Okay, what's this castle? What is this castle? Hera desperately looking for gold. Has some gold. Brutal Dromination incoming. That's a good one, Dromination. Leather archer armor for Sebastian. Has Treb hitting the castle. And incendiaries now. Or is that incendiaries or no, siphons. Siphons. Whatever the tech is, siphons for the fire ships. This castle will go down to the cannon. As much as Hera has water control, Sebastian will win the land. Oh my gosh, look at the mule carts! Look at the mule carts from Hera! He's got nowhere to place them, so they're just all in one gold. You'll call the GG. Sebastian, 2-3. Well, I don't even know what to say. Felt like the early game of give up the water but take the bigger boom is the meta on hybrid maps right now. And Hera did everything he could to hold with the churches, but I think that game was all overinvestment into water from Hera. So win the water, lose the game, as has been happening. But I mean, it's not like a throw like Hera was in such a good position that he suddenly loses the game. It's a throw more from the sense of he invested too much in the military count. So here is Sebastian saying, oh, you know, you take the water, I don't need it. I'll go castle slightly faster, and then I'll boom more. As ecos were kind of close, kind of in Sebastian's favor, and then really in his favor the whole game. Yeah, like a long-term strategic error more than a throw, I think. That's what Hera gets for being invited and not needing to qualify for the Brazil event. Doesn't learn the real meta is don't go to sea. Stay at your desk. Are people messaging me about the maps? The water meta is Celt steal sheep with your transport. You are correct about that. You are absolutely correct about that. That's the real meta. So next game, I think we're finally getting to more... Mirkwood. This is what I want to see. Mirkwood. I have never seen this map before. Other than Stark has a video on it on his YouTube channel I saw. It's like Nomad, but the outside is shallows a bit. And I'm going to take a wild guess that is Berbers for Sebastian. And the final game will be Romans versus Goths. It'll either be Berbers or Georgians then. Berbers maybe is an attempt to counter conquistadors. Which I don't think that ever works, but maybe it'll work. If you made Sea Monk, there are no Sea Monks in the game. I would love Sea Monks, though. That's like what a boarding ship should be, a Sea Monk. It's like it gets a conversion, but from a really close range. I don't know, did anyone else... They were talking about really nerdy RTS games from the past. Has anyone else played Star Trek Armada? From the not the Sins of a Solar Empire mod for Armada 3, but 1 and 2. Because there, every individual ship had shields, and when you destroyed the shields and you got down to the hull, you could transport onto the ship, and every ship had a crew. And then if you transported enough crew onto the ship, you'd capture the ship. And then you had crew was actually one of your resource. And like your town center equivalent, your starbase, would generate crew over time. Yeah, and the Borg could the Borg specialty was they would assimilate you, and they worked on the crew resource. And here we are, Mirkwood. So nomads start, they'll have some rhinos to bring in. Some deer are scattered around. Chickens are scattered around. Some rhinos. I think I missed, I need to make these 340 food instead of 400. Lots of fish out here by the docks. I've never played faster than light. The Borg cubes. Yeah, in Armada 2, you could take, I think it was 8 Borg cubes, and you could merge them together to make one giant Borg cube. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, there are some chickens as scouts on the map. In general, for these maps, if they had chicken versions versus deer versions, I used the deer version. Here, this map has some chickens as scouts. I don't know what to think about that. Personally, I'm not a fan of chickens as scouts. And maybe we need to just pick some sheep and throw them on the map instead of the chickens. But it's called Mirkwood. It uses a little mixing of these Asian maple trees. I think that's a really cute tree. Lots of lush bamboo, but a few Asian maples mixed in. Vary the wood line, make it kind of colorful. This map, I wrote descriptions for the maps. This one I wrote, girt by muddy shallows. All you Australians can enjoy the girt by sea reference. Also, there are these little limestone pillars here. These things are crazy. I love them. They're absolutely beautiful. They are beautiful. I love that asset. Also, little chickens on the outside. Yeah, all of them are asleep in their beds right now. Some of them will wake up soon. Some of them will wake up soon. That's ever so slightly faster. Sebastian up to the next stage. And I imagine this is just FC Conch versus FC Camel Archer. We have 8 fishing ships, both players docking. Look at that, taking the food from the shorefish. All fishing ships dropping off food at the dock. Is this the Mirkwood DE script? Yes, Mirkwood DE. All I did was set the toggle for 9 villagers, and that is pretty much it. Oh, that dock is a horrible dock from Hera. Hera not docking on a peninsula, not going to the outside, just docking on the first coast he found. He is not going to have a good salmon. Oh my gosh, are these all salmon? Oh, T90's specialty here, salmon everywhere. He's not going to have a good fish. Oh my god, look at all the birds, too. Now, this is where, since there are 21 maps, and a lot of them are existing scripts by existing authors, and I didn't make too many changes to them, I can still be surprised by some of the things I find on the maps. So, Market Blacksmith, Stone, Camel Archer, Conch, and personally I think Conch wins this matchup. Later on, you get all the upgrades on the Camel Archers, Ballistics, Bodkin. Sure, then they win. But Conch's early on, faster building castle for the Spanish. Hera should get some good map control. He could YOLO that castle forward. And then I think he just goes Conch's. And also, as the Spanish, he can also add in donks. Which might sound ridiculous, but for converting camel archers, that actually is useful. Expo much better on low numbers early on? Maybe for the Genoese Expo. So, Hera has 2 of those Stonevilles trapped inside. Won't be able to send them to her castle. Oh, Sebastian trying to wall off very quickly to prevent the forward castle on his face. Hera will see that at least. It's still castle over here, maybe? I think there's a spot between the market, the woodline, and the house. Would hit the TC, but wouldn't hit the golden stone. So res collected just about the same.
Azul. Y servidora?
It's castle for both players. And some more stone coming up for Sebastian. And there's the castle location. The quick gate from Sebastian blocks the castle, but not entirely. Hera deletes his own outpost to do the castle, finds space for it on the hill, gets the castle he wants, but the gate may have just saved a couple of tiles that now mean the TC is not in range. So move that castle 1, 2, 3 tiles forward, and it will be hitting the TC, especially if it gets Bodkin. So Sebastian's gate doesn't stop the castle, but repositions it and saves himself. We'll have a castle for Sebastian over here on a little hill. Where does he gather gold now? Over here. Over here he gathers gold. That is where. That is a great question, though. How does he keep that safe from conquistadors? If Hera scouts that when he has seen the gold, just sends a conch there and kills everything. Conch killing vills now. So, bowsaw here for Sebastian.
Sí, presto.
Y...
Mande. Sí,
Nakwarma.
mande.
Those double conks right on top of each other.
Presto. Sí,
And Bodkin arrow here for Sebastian.
mande. Presto.
It feels over. I mean, it feels kind of over when you have conks on this type of map, right?
Nakwarma. Azul.
Conks. Ooh, how did 3 conks not kill that Vil?
Sí,
And another pair of oh my gosh, the box formation conks doubling up on top of each other. That's crazy. Where's the demo? Where's the demo from Sebastian?
mande.
It's another camel archer down, and yeah, conks, they have such high attack. Think about it, the 16 attack for a conk. Camel archers, 7 plus 2, and then plus 4 against cav archer. But 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. That is still less attack than the Conquistador has.
Sí,
And it's the same HP. Armor is 1 pierce armor versus 1 pierce armor. And the only advantage that the Camel Archer has then is it has 1, or no, it doesn't even have 1 more range. It's the same range. And it needs Fletching and Bodkin to have the same range as the Conk. Yeah, they need ballistics and then they can fight, right? But we've had... There's the university. Sebastian's taken so much damage before ballistics comes in.
mande.
It's almost impossible to get ballistics in time to fight. And you say the same thing, Bloodlines Husbandry, conks need those too. But now, what is Hera gonna find when he runs around here? Tons of fishing ships that he could see, and he does see. As he also finds Vils under the tower, that's 1 Vil down. And he'll turn and fight the fish now. Fishing ships will have to garrison. Yeah, they don't cost food and can get ballistics. But on Nomad, where you have so many free food sources, and also fishing ships, the food cost isn't as bad as it is on, say, Arena. Or even Arabia, if you're gonna go like FC Rathas, where you prefer the wood and gold unit. Oh, you saw the nice bounce off the edge of the map there? You saw that bullet bounce? Oh, Conquistadors.
Presto.
Inaccurate enough, they can hit the edge of the map. And Genitors. Well, that's the same thing. Genitors, even though they have a huge attack bonus, such low attack that they don't do the same damage that Conquistadors do. So you could go Genitors, which I mean might even be an option because you have more production than Camel Archers since you're going ranges.
Presto.
You could set up your eco for pure Genitor production
Mande.
with fish. Yeah, and they don't require the castle. Alright, so it might not be overall as strong a unit as the Camel Archer. But unlike Camel Archers, I think Genitors still do have a weakness to Mangonels. So if you go Conk plus Mangonel, then you're struggling. See, now we have numbers from Sebastian. Numbers enough that he can fight the Conks. Especially with armor now coming in. Bloodlines in. So Bloodlines versus no Bloodlines. Dock there. But overall KD now 20-6. This tower will go down. Maybe Hera disappointed he couldn't group up the conks, but there are another few Vils to pick. Camel Archers will keep them safe, but for how long as we get Leather Archer armor for Hera? I love the ram choice here.
Sí,
And Hera just diving the Camel Archers. Conks do so much damage. Oh my gosh. He has Bloodlines now. There's a GG from Sebastian. And Hera will go up 4-2. 26-8 KD. And okay, yeah, I mean, a decent map. Feels like a decent Nomad map. was that? Spanish over Berbers. Host games in faraway servers to nerf dodging. Why are Berbers this much picked lately? I like it, but they have been gone for some months. We saw them a couple of times in the Brazil qualifier the past couple of weeks because they are a good water sieve with the faster moving ships. With all of the changes in the rework and the very short-ranged melee ships of the Hulks and the Fires being more important now, that change benefits the movement speed buff that the Berbers have. If you see how often players are favoring clinker construction as one of the first techs in the university, which is for the movement speed, I think that just goes to show how strong that bonus is. Second is just they were kind of a good FC civ. Players will pick, in this situation, they were picked as an attempt to counter conquistadors. I don't think they work out there all that well, though. Also, we saw them on Araucarius a couple of times because of the faster moving vills for lowering the boar. And camel archers are still a good unique unit. And Skakuza will be our final map. Skakuza, the final map. So this is the map with all of the hunt in the middle. This one I did a good amount of work on. Skakuza is a lovely map. Hello, General Octo. The one change that was made to it is there's a ring of unwallable rock terrain in the middle now. Drazini had made some changes to it and added a bunch of rocks. I wasn't really a fan of that because you kind of wall the rocks. So I removed those but left the unwallable rock, which feels like the right compromise. Vills, they get 5% faster in the Dark Age. It used to be 10%, but now it's only 5%. Did people wall off the hunt? I didn't actually see any practice games on that version, but there were so many rocks strewn about that it felt like it completely changed the map. So I tried to kind of thread the needle between different versions that I had and still be honest to Young Panda's initial version. Ornlu is morally opposed to rocky terrain. Well, whenever Ornlu is opposed to something, I just replay Genghis Khan 1. And receive the gift of flaming arrows. Conks are light cav plus hand cannoneer, and camel archer is camel plus archer. What other combinations could you think? I like to see elephant plus grenadier. How about trade cog plus mangonel? So you could trade, but if your trade is rated on the water, you could attempt to mangonel to defend yourself. And it wouldn't actually auto-target, it would be you have to manually attack ground, but it could attack ground while moving. So, like, you click them and you'd attack ground without disrupting the trade, and instead of a full mangonel projectile, it would be like 3 rocks. Something kind of small, but like you get a bunch of them all doing it at the same time to defend the trade. That's my idea. Alright, so here we are on Skakuza. We have all the hunt in the middle. Yeah, no boar on this map. You only have hunt in the middle. Unless I messed that up and you're supposed to have a boar. But it's all the hunt in the middle. I don't think you're supposed to have a boar. When I checked the map this morning, there were no boars, and I thought to myself, that makes sense. But maybe I messed up and I missed it. I'll need to go check Young Panda's map again. Maybe there is supposed to be a boar. Maybe the boars are supposed to be in the middle. I mean, with 21 maps, all from a variety of authors who all do stuff differently, trying to get all of them working without breaking stuff is honestly quite a challenge. Because there are going to be things in the old version of the map, sometimes players didn't have berries. And so I put a lot of work into making sure that the berries are fair, and that everyone at least has a berry patch. But sometimes I check the map for berries, I check it for gold, I check it for stone. I check it for the hunt in the middle. And I check it for everything. But I miss one of the 20 things that I'm checking. And then I have, like, I had that problem with the scouts earlier on Shorelines. The first version didn't have a scout on it. Llama riders for the Inca? I think the llama rider should be kind of like the Konik, but instead of the horse dying and the rider standing up, the rider dies and the llama stands back up, so you could re-garrison another swordsman line unit. Or actually re-garrison a Kamyuk onto a llama. That's how you could do it. You train Kamyuks from the castle, and you have to keep your llama alive from the Dark Age, but then you can put the Kamyuk on the llama to make the llama rider. Yeah, so militia from Sebastian to push the hunt. Pushing the ostriches into the TC. I do kind of like the rock terrain in the middle. I think it makes it a bit more interesting. At least when you look at it, you see this little bullseye for all the hunt. I think that's pretty cool. There is a mill. Like a missionary too. Yeah, and the llama rider would be like a step lancer because you make it with a Kamyuk. So militia here from Hera. And he'll be ready to go men-at-arms as the Romans. And he'll be ready to fight the Goths. So Romans versus Goths. So far, Sebastian more res collected from the longer-lasting hunt. And he'll just try to push Hera back. Loom in now. Insta-loom. And he clicks up. And he'll push the militia back as far as he can. And try to keep Hera off the middle. Sebastian still did have Georgians. But maybe looking at an intense men-at-arms fight, decided he wanted to have the cheaper men-at-arms of the Goths. You mean like Socotra, essentially? Or Canberra, like we've used a couple of times in the sudden death events? And Feudal Age not in yet for Sebastian. He's just gonna fight. Well, he has numbers on the men-at-arms. He has more militia than Hera has men-at-arms. And honestly, that was a decent fight for Sebastian. Decent fight for him. Goth's OP. The scout for Hera is super low. And to be Dark Age that long and still take a fight like that, I think he's pretty happy. Now, 5% faster working vills on everything for the Romans, so they will take the hunt pretty quickly. And Feudal Age plus double bit axe for Sebastian. And Vill's doing the men-at-arms, or fighting the men-at-arms. And tower going up for Sebastian there. So tower in middle. You don't have much stone, but you do have 3 piles of stone per player, so you can go mine that. And then go mine another 2 tiles of stone. Men-at-arms all killing other men-at-arms there. Oh, men-at-arm wiggling a bit back and forth on that wood line.
Ja. Bereite.
Tibi Servio.
Heisse.
Impera. Tibi Servio.
Bereite.
And this is... Oh, this is going to be a big fight once it happens. This will be big. 6 versus 8. And now you look at the blacksmith upgrades. We have double armor for the Romans, so they will have the sturdier men-at-arms in the fight. We saw tons of times on the Red Bull maps, on what was the map? Dune Springs, that was the replacement. That the men-at-arms there for the Romans were great with their fishing bonus. Kind of the same thing on this map. Hunt bonus plus good men-at-arms. With the instant blacksmith, you had the instant armor there. And now Sebastian trying to get numbers. He has double barracks. We're going to have right now triple barracks from Hera. This is all in men-at-arms. We need a third barracks from Sebastian. His are cheaper. He's ahead in res collected. He needs to be able to pump out the men-at-arms faster. On the berries, Hera does have... Oh, that's where the rest of Sebastian's men-at-arms are. That's where they are. They're in Hera's base. Does Hera need wood? Well, he only has 2 vills on wood. Thankfully for him, he has 102 wood, so he can do another lumber camp should he need one. Ah, the vill's now going down. There's a tower for Hera in the middle. Goths have extra attack against buildings. Sebastian now trying to garrison his tower. Wants to fight at the base of the tower against the men-at-arms so he can pepper the men-at-arms with tower fire. Are the Goths OP? The Vills are getting involved. The Vills are fighting too. Vills are fighting too.
Tibi Servio. Salve. Impera.
Ja.
Tibi Servio.
Everything dying there.
Impera. Prontus.
Tower fight with both towers going down. Men-at-arms dying too for Sebastian under the tower. He brought his other men-at-arms to the middle. Hera's winning the men-at-arms fight and destroying the tower. And all of a sudden, that's 28-24 vills, but Hera has more men-at-arms. He has more men-at-arms, and Sebastian calls the GG. And that is 5-2 Hera. Well, that was very quick right at the end. The Roman armor bonus is clutch on this map. The Roman armor bonus clutch. That's why we see their men-at-arms so much. Burgundians for Flemish militia could be interesting here. I don't know what fights the Romans all that well, though. If the Goths can't do it, what can? Maybe Aztecs for the production speed? You could skip and do 2 barracks? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, Sebastian had more res collected. That might also just be a build order mishap from him, because he had more wood collected and not as much food. So he might have been behind on getting the next barracks, and then not had the men-at-arms numbers he needed. And it felt like he was ahead too in numbers, but he also had that second raiding group raiding Hera's eco. He raided the wood line, but Hera didn't really need wood. And there was just one fight where Sebastian, since his groups are in 2 separate armies, he lost a fight to men-at-arms, and then lost another fight when he brought the reinforcements over, dying to the towers. And Vincent Joseph, thank you for the follow. Burmese, maybe. Britons go archer? Maybe with all the hunt, I don't know if you really can go archer. Alright, anyway, quick stream for me. I mean, 3 hours, that's quick, right? Compared to the past couple days. So, I'm offline now. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm exhausted from streaming, and I'm going to go fix some more maps, so I will talk to you all later. I'll raid someone on Twitch, and I'll say goodbye on YouTube. Once again, let me just give a shout-out on Twitch to Memb, he's going to be organizing Warlords, and we'll have another show match tomorrow, but perhaps even more importantly, 14 GMT, we're going to have T90 versus Nilly, Low Elo Legends TTL Community Cup. I'll be casting that with Addictive Me tomorrow morning, so make sure to show up for that. And I'll see you tomorrow. And until then, goodbye and see you tomorrow.